Namaste students. Today we are going to continue with the same topic, integration by parts, part 3. Alright, we'll pick up some questions just for better understanding. Alright, for example, my question is, I have to integrate ex cos x. If I see the questions which we did till now, two types. One was integration was getting over, and one was integration was not getting over. We were getting the starting function, and then we were replacing it by I, and then doing it, thus solving it in the same way. The same type, whenever we have a combination of exponential and trigonometric function, we are going to come to this step again. That will become I. Because these both are endless differentiation. Ex will never end because integration never finishes anything. Alright? Differentiation of ex will remain ex, and cos once will become sine, cos, sine, cos, sine, cos. So that means I will not come to a point where integration gets over or differentiation gets over. I will come to the point where I get the same integrand which is given to us. Alright? So it is a combination of exponential and trigonometric, which is the first function. Trigonometry is the first function. So cos x as it is. Integration of ex. What is integration of ex? That is ex minus sine of integral. Differentiation of cos. What is differentiation of cos? Differentiation of cos is minus sine x. Integration of ex, that is ex. Again I will apply minus it becomes plus. So again I have ex and sin x. So again I will apply u into v rule by parts. So first function, which will be first function trigonometry. First function as it is. Integration of ex, that is ex. Sine of integral. Differentiation of sine, that will be cos x ex dx. Because now it will get over. Because further otherwise if I start again same thing, same and same thing. So I have reached to the integral where it is ex into cos x dx, which was my starting function. So I will replace it by ex. I am taking common from here. By I at 2 will go there. Alright, when this 2 goes here, if you might have seen the other example also, we have brought this 2. Here also 2 comes. But c by 2 again becomes a constant, so we just write it either c1 or c. Is it clear? Alright, so whenever you have a combination of ex, exponential function and trigonometric function, the question is going to become like this. It's going to come to that point where we get the same function from where we started, and we will replace it by I. Alright, let's pick up more examples. See, I have e2x into sin x cos x dx. Alright, now instead of keeping 3 functions, always apply. Whenever there is a trigonometry, think of some formula and then solve it. So what am I thinking? I will multiply by 2 and divide by 2. It becomes 2 sin x cos x. What is that? That is sin 2x. Now I have same thing to solve. It's a combination of trigonometric and exponential function. So solve it. First function as it is. Integration of e2x. What is integration of e2x? I 2. This is my first function. I am treating this as first function. Integration of e2x would be e2x by 2. Alright. Minus. Differentiation of first function. 1 by 2 will remain as it is. Differentiation of sin 2x would be cos 2x into 2. In integration, the coefficient of x comes in denominator. In differentiation, we because we apply chain rule. It goes in multiplication. Alright, into integration of second, that is e to x by 2. So, again I can apply one function, and this is my second function, u into v. There's a minus sign outside, so be careful. First function as it is, integration of second, e to x integration, e to x by 2 minus differentiation of first. Sign, what is the differentiation of 1 by 2 will remain as it is. Differentiation of cos would be minus sign, so it will become plus sign. Sin to x into 2 into integration of, alright. Now whatever is there, cancel whichever possible. So I have open the bracket. I'm keeping this 1 by 2 outside. What is this? This is from where we started. I can take this complete term as I. Alright, so it would be 1 by 4 e to x can be common from first two. Take that I that side. Same thing. Bring this to this side. Plus c by 2, and that will become same. Clear to everyone? Alright. Let's see the next question. Let's see the next one. I need to integrate sin inverse root x minus cos inverse root x upon sin inverse root x plus cos inverse root x. See, whenever inverse trigonometry comes in integration or in differentiation, you always have to fall upon the chapter of inverse trigonometric functions, so that any formula which can be applicable. So we know that what is that? Remember, sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is always equals to pi by 2. So from here I can find the value of cos inverse x also. Now this integral, sin inverse root x, in place of cos inverse I am writing pi by 2 this, so it will become minus pi by 2 plus sin inverse root x, and upon I have pi by 2. That is a constant that will go out. In integration I have 2 sin inverse root x and minus pi by 2 dx. Segregate the integrals. Alright. 1 is cancelled. We know the integration of 1, and this I am treating as I1 because I have to find out the integration. Alright, I1 because I need to find out what is I1. Alright, so you want to directly start it by using by parts, you can, or you can make it little easier by some substitution. That would be better. If you apply some substitution and try to make it easy. My target is, if it is a sine inverse outside, to make sine inside, so that sine inverse and sine gets cancelled. Don't cancel it, that's a rule. But so I am putting then x is equals to sine square t. So dx is equals to 2 sine t cos t dt, or you say dx is equals to sine 2t. That's the formula. Alright, now put. What will be sine inverse? If first suppose I need to find out, if I take this sine that side, sine inverse root x will be equals to t. That means I have substituted sine inverse root x is equals to t. So it has become t. Now it's a simple question. The combination of trigonometry and algebraic function. So integrate. Which will be the first function? Algebraic first, trigonometric second, according to our word ILET. So first function as it is, integration of sine. What is integration of sine? That's minus cos 2t, differentiate divided by the coefficient of x. Alright? Minus sign of integration. Differentiation of first function. What is the differentiation of t? Differentiation of t is 1. So no need to write integration of sine 2t, that is minus cos, so it will become plus. So we got a single function inside, so that's our target. Integration of cos would be sine 2t upon 2, so it becomes 4. Alright, so before you put it here, replace the values. What would be the value of t? That will be cos 2t. I need to find the value, and I need to find the value of sine 2t. Alright, clear? I can write, because I have a value of sine t. I have a value of sine t. So I can write this cos 2t first of all as 1 minus 2 sine square t. We have a double formula, and this sine 2t as 2 sine t cos t. Now put the values. One minus, what is sine square, would be x. Sine t is root x. If sine t is root x, what will be cos t? Cos t is 1 minus sine square t. So that means 1 minus x, because sine square is x, plus c. Now from here put the value of I1, and that would be our answer. Is it, children? This was all about by parts. We have done part 1, 2 and 3. Integration using by parts. Very, very important rule. Only thing is that you need to be careful which function to be chosen as first, which to be chosen as second function. Clear? Once you have chosen, then you have to apply the rule that first function as it is, integration of second minus second, differentiation of second, sign of integration, differentiation of second, integration of, differentiation of first, integration of second.